How's it going, guys? This is Zach here doing another video for you today. Today we're going to start the beginning of a 3-part mini-series called, wait for it, Battle of the Slants. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. I have in my possession right now 4 different slants that we're going to be battling against each other. So how this is going to work is we're going to have 2 slants go up against one another. Next shave, we'll have the other 2 slants go up against each other. The winner of each will go to the grand finals, and we'll see who's the winner out of these 4 different types of slants. So today, what we're going to be, well, actually, let's do this. We'll go over each of the contenders here. So first up, we have the famous RazoRock Stealth Slant, and this, I believe, is the V1, according to Zach Likes to Shave. He helped me figure that out somehow. I don't know how he did, but that's what he came up with on this one. And this is also the aluminum version. Then, for the other slant that we're going to be using today against the Stealth Slant is the fine Super Lite slant. Then for the next shave, or part 2, we're going to have the Merkur 37C, and up against that is going to be the Ikon 102 with a Merkur MR5 handle on it. Alright, so as far as today's shave goes, like I said, that's going to be the RazoRock Stealth Slant up against the fine Super Lite. And as far as to help us out with this shave, can't shave without safe soap or a brush, so we're going to be using Henriette Victoria's Cognac and Cuban cigars, and this was sent to me by Peter Tarkalis. I won it in a contest that he did on his Shave Soaps and Good Stink, I think that's what it's called, group. So go check that out. Shout out to Peter, thanks for this. I've really been enjoying this, but I don't think I've done a shave of the day with this, but this is fantastic stuff. I'll talk about it a little bit later. I'll kind of mix some other things into the video, not solely about these razors. And then I've had this blooming over here, even though I don't necessarily need to I guess not blooming, but soaking, sorry, is the RazoRock Soft brush. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to, and then inside of each of these razors, as far as the next shave goes as well, same thing, they each have a fresh Voskhod blade in them, so that way equal playing field. Then it's just solely about the razors. So alright, let's go ahead and get started. I've had this soap blooming over here. I'm just going to pour some of this out into my hand and rub it on my face. As you can see, this bloom water is mostly soapy, so that's great. I really like that in soaps that do that. A lot of times you'll see it's like straight up water, and then the last little bit of it is like soapy goodness water. That kind of acts as a pre-shave for me. Alright, so shaking out my brush, and let's load this bad boy. And if you haven't seen the Soft, this thing is a steal over at Italian Barber. It's a Plaisson type knot, hence the name. It's 24mm, and it's fantastic, and it's a steal at $10. So I would highly suggest picking one of these up because it's a great brush. It's probably my go-to brush. One of my favorite brushes. I wouldn't say my favorite, but one of my favorites. So I have a nice load on here, as you can see. And let's go ahead and build this lather up. Dry, so I'll just soak the tips, reapply. This scent is great. It's made by the same people as that makes the Savoy for the shaving shop, Peter Tarkalis' site. and it's pretty similar, I think. I don't remember reading what all the notes were inside of it, but I think it's pretty similar. The Savoy has more of like a, I don't know if it's menthol or like a mint type feel or notes to it, but it's pretty similar. I like it. I like both, but I like the Savoy better, to be honest. Alright, so we got a nice super thick lather. That's to be expected from this soap. And I've got about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days worth of growth. So, I got some of my notes, sorry. Okay, so RazoRock Stealth Slant on this side of my face, and Fine Super Lite on this side of my face. So, we'll go with this guy, the newcomer. So, here we go. As far as like how we're actually going to be doing this, I tried to think of like some like categories as far as like a rating system, like 1 through 10, and then, you know, average it out and see who's the winner. But I don't really want to do that after all. So I think what I'm really going to do is kind of just base it off of two different things. No numbers involved, just kind of like what I feel about each one. So that's going to be basically the feel of the razor, so how it feels in your hand, based off of like the weight and just like, I don't know, how it's built and just how comfortable it is, I guess. How the head goes with the handle, like the handle's too big for the head, too heavy, you know, things like that. How it feels on the face. And then the other thing is just going to be how it shaves in general. So I'll evaluate, feel my face after each pass. And then also do a couple of different other, I guess, tests or different things to kind of see like how the shave went, like how efficient it was, or how smooth I think it did based off of my face. Normal spots where I might get irritation, or spots that I might not get as close. And then lastly, once the shave is all done, we'll the ultimate judge here is the Allen block. We'll see, you know, which side of my face, if one burns more, you know, versus the other. So that's how this is going to work. Alright, and moving on to the Stealth Slant. And really, I wanted to do these two up against each other, mostly because they're based off of, they have very similar design, and the reason for that is they're inspired by the same razor. So if a lot of people think that the Fine is a duplication of the RazoRock Slant or Stealth Slant, but that's not actually the case. The RazoRock Stealth Slant was based off of a mystery slant that Joe from Italian Barber, I guess, found like an abundance of. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. So anyways, so Joe found an abundance of these razors and was like, I guess I'm gonna sell them. So he sold them, and they were like real big hit. Everyone liked them, so he decided that he was gonna make his own razor based off of that mystery razor. So that's what the Stealth Slant is, in case you didn't know that. I never got to try one of those, but yeah, that's the backstory. Alright, well, I think that does it. I'm gonna I guess I'll do this too. I don't know. Alright, let me rinse my face real quick, and then we'll feel after round one here. Alright, so just kind of feeling my face. Like I said, I had quite a bit of growth, well, at least for me anyway. So after pass one, I guess this, I can feel hair on both sides of my face pretty equally. Maybe on my mustache right here. It's a little bit closer so far, but one pass. It's kind of hard to say one's better than the other. I don't really like to. I guess we're doing it between passes, but ultimately the end is how it's going to go. Like, I know a lot of razors, you know, pass one goes by and then, you know, pass two or pass three is where they really shine. So we'll start that process. So we'll go past two now. And the soap is fantastic. I don't know why you don't see it more often, but hopefully that changes. Alright, so pass number two, across the grain for me. Now, I said we were going to talk about balance a little bit, or I guess like feel. So, I don't know, like, I think both of these, as far as like weight distribution, pretty even. Like, they're not head heavy, they're not handle heavy, they're just right. I've had this fine slant for a while now. Well, pretty much since it came out. I pre-ordered it, and I've tried a few different handles on it, and the only one that I actually found works well with it, outside of the stock one, is this guy right here. This is probably the second lightest razor that I own. So, but even with this, it's still handle heavy. So I don't really know. If you're not a fan of the handle, if it's really going to be, I mean, you can throw a heavier handle on it, but I don't think it's going to give you good results based off of how different the head and the handle is going to be. So I don't know, that's just me. I didn't really care for the results that I got with this using anything other than the stock. Alright. And pass number two, RazoRock. I mentioned before spots that kind of give me trouble. For me, as far as like closeness goes, most of the time I can get a pretty close to BBS shave everywhere, except right here under my jaw. And so no matter what I do, if I try, you know, pulling my skin up this way or you know, I don't know, every which angle, it's always not as close right here. But every now and then, I can get a BBS right there as well. So we'll see. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't, but I'll definitely be able to tell which one got a little bit closer in that trouble area for me. Okay, I'm just gonna rinse my face. Alright, so let's do a face feel. Alright, so far, that trouble area, RazoRock Stealth Slant, smoother than this side. Everywhere else, honestly, pretty much identical. But just right there, a little bit smoother on this side. So, but we'll see. I don't know what this is called, Money Pass, or I don't know, Fool's Pass. I don't know. Whatever. Pass number 3 coming up right now. So we'll see who's gonna win this one. But overall, I think with any of these slants, really, myself personally, I prefer them over standard, I don't know what you call them, regular safety bar razors. I've been like, not that like I like them in general better, but it's just like you feel when you feel yourself gravitating towards one type of razor or one soap more than another. It's not that it's necessarily your favorite, your absolute favorite, but you just find yourself going towards it more often because it works and you have great results with it. So I've been doing that with all of these razors, with the exception of this 37C because this was loaned to me. Alright, so pass number 3 is going to be against the grain or upwards. Some spots on my face, it's not actually against the grain, it's across the grain, but that's besides the point. So anyways, upwards, pass number 3, and here we go. I mentioned, like, this is going to be based on feel again, right? So I think between the two... Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. My camera died, so I'm just going to have to fill you guys in what happened. Basically what I was getting at there was comparing the two as far as face feel goes. This fine slant is a plastic polymer razor, but I believe there is some sort of like coating on top of it, and because of that, to me the fine feels a little bit smoother going across my face. It glides a little bit better compared to the RazoRock Stealth. After pass 3, I felt my face again, and it was basically just like pass 2, pretty much exactly the same with the exception of this area right here. I do have another sensitive spot that's on my, almost like my whiskers area of my mustache, but both of them went through that with no problem there, so that was great. As far as the winner goes for this first battle of the slants, to be honest, I was rooting for the underdog here, the fine slant. As far as the feel category goes, I guess you could say I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna say that's a tie between the two. Like I said, this is a little bit smoother to me, but I do like light razors. But this is also a very light razor, and I think this has just the right amount, like to where it's not too heavy, it's not too light. Not that this is too light, but it definitely takes some getting used to. So it might take a couple shaves before you're completely used to this. This you can just pick up and go right from the get-go. So for this, like I said, for this edition or for this round, first round of Battle of the Slants, I'm gonna give the winner here to the fine, or not the fine, the RazoRock Stealth Slant. It was a close match, and I was rooting for this guy, but looks like the RazoRock Stealth Slant won. But if you're on the rocks, as far as, you know, I know this is pretty much unobtainable at this point, but you can still find it on the aftermarket every now and then on the buy-sell trade groups. If you're on the rocks, the difference between these two is so small that for $30 you're going to get just as good as a shave as you are going to be for $150, $160 for this guy right here. So if I were to recommend one of the two, I would still go for the fine slant over the RazoRock Slant, just on that alone. This is a fantastic razor, but for the price, to me, they're so close of a shave. Like I said, they're based on the same razor they're inspired by, so they're so close of a shave because of that in my opinion you're better off going with the fine. So that does it for this first episode of Battle of the Slants. Next episode we're going to have the Merkur 37C going up against the ikon 102 on the Maggard MR5. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.